Howdy folks, this is Rob with MTG Investor, and today we're going to make a video on is it worth it to buy and hold Modern Masters 2015 booster boxes. The other day I released a video on is it worth it to open Modern Masters booster boxes, and today we're looking at the other side of that coin, which is it worth it to buy the boxes and hold on to it for either the short term or the long term. So real quick, we're going to look at this page which I went over in my other video. If you haven't seen that video on is it worth it to open, you might want to take a look. But in short, basically it came to the idea that if you're going to buy them to open them for yourself for the pure pleasure, yes, it's awesome, do it, go ahead. If you are going to open it to sell on eBay immediately right off the bat, don't think that's a great idea. I think that's a poor investment. You're looking at a loss per box in general, unless you're a big box online company that you can make your money off of. But if you're going to open it and put it in your trade binder, I suggested that if you're going to do that, then hold on to the product and don't trade it away. Wait 6 months for the product to move up in value, the individual product. If you open a Tarmogoyf, you're going to win. You're automatically going to be over on the value of the box. But if you open a Comet Storm, you're going to lose. So now, with that being said, I want to go over a few things. And there's a few things we want to look at real quick that I think are interesting. First thing I want to look at is some of the individual prices of the cards. And the one thing that I want to focus on is the mythics. The mythics are going to really drive the value of Modern Masters 2015. So, for the most part, outside of Comet Storm, which is like a $2 card, all the other mythics, Bitter Blossom, I mean, we've got some great ones. Dark Confidant, Elish Norn, Emrakul, Iona. All these mythics are great. I mean, if you look down the list here at these prices, most of them are in the $20+ range, $40+ 34, 20, 30, $40 a pop. These are some really nice mythics. I think in general, the mythics, well, it's not even hard to say. If we look at the original Modern Masters mythics, it is very easy to see that the 2015 mythics really outshine the original Modern Masters mythics. I mean, there's some decent mythics. Obviously, there's a Tarmogoyf and a Dark Confidant in here, and a Vendilion Click. But they have the dragons from Champions of Kamigawa and stuff, which are just, most of them are just crap and aren't played other than EDH. But hands down, the 2015 mythics are much better. So this is going to really help the value of the booster box long term. I wanted to really just focus on that. Now the rares, I think, I personally think there's some individual all-stars in here, but I think the rares from the original Modern Masters in general are better than the current Modern Masters. So you kind of have an offset there. You have the original Modern Masters booster boxes, which had a better rare value on average, and you have to consider that rares are 0.875% of your packs. So the rares are going to really help the value of the packs, but it's really the all-star cards and booster boxes that really help move the value of the boxes long term. So if you look at World Wake, for example, where you have Jace and the Stoneforge Mythic and the Manlands, those all-stars like really push the value of boxes. If you look at the Eldrazi set, then Rise of the Eldrazi, the Eldrazi really pushed those boxes. Even Onslaught, the booster boxes for Onslaught were just ridiculously overpriced just because of the fetch lands that were in there. For the most part, Onslaught was a really crap set, but the fetch lands like really pushed. So you really just need a handful of cards to really push the value of sets in general that are just real all-stars. Future Sight, obviously, Tarmogoyf pushed it, but Future Sight had a lot of great cards in it, not just Tarmogoyf. So anyway, the mythics in the Modern Masters 2015, really good mythics. The rares not so great in this set, but the other thing that I want to take a look at when determining whether I think buying and holding booster boxes for Modern Masters 2015 is the original Modern Masters. So right now what we're looking at here is eBay page showing the original Modern Masters sealed booster boxes, and I have these sorted from basically at the beginning of the year. So this is for January. Right now we're in May. It's May 11th. And these are the prices that these boxes were selling at back in January, before we really knew anything about Modern Masters 2015. We knew there was going to be a Modern Masters 2015, but we didn't know what was going to be in it yet. So just knowing there was going to be a Modern Masters, we'll call it an expansion, that tells us that we can have a little faith in the long-term value, because knowing that's already coming out and you're still seeing, okay, so this one sold for $340, $365, $388, $380, $385, $400. These are in February now. $400, $340, $385, basically $375. So we're still looking at probably an average value of about $365 to $370 on those booster boxes. So the original Modern Masters retailed at $168, right around $168. But realistically, those were pre-selling and selling at stores and on eBay for about well, it just depends on where you could get them. Some people got good deals on them and got them for pretty much retail. Some people had to pay like $200 to $220 per box for them. So even if you paid, like, let's say you paid $220, and if you got $360 out of it, that's a really good investment, that you've only sat on that box for a year and a half, and for every $200 you spent, or even if it's $220, even if you spent $240, if you got $360, that's a 50% profit on your return on your investment, and for just a year and a half, that's a really good return on your investment. So with that being said, I think it's a pretty good idea to pick up boxes of Modern Masters 2015 to hold. I personally have already committed to picking some up. If you watch my other video, you know that I bought some from, and I said I got them from Star City. I don't get any special deal, and I don't have any special connection with stores like a lot of people do. So I paid $1,016 for my 4 boxes. I spent $9 extra for some other things, and so there's my name, Robert. Anyway, I think that these are a pretty good deal. Now, normally, if you've watched my videos, you know that I'm a long-term investor. I'm looking at things that are going to be good in 2 to 5 years. So I don't have a problem sitting and waiting for my cards to go up. If they're going to get a huge return on investment, I think, then I don't mind waiting. However, this is going to be a shorter play for me. I got mine for $250 a box. I would like to get 50% return on my investment if I can. I'm looking to sell mine for $375. So when I can get $375 for them, then I'll let go of them. And I'll probably won't sell them on eBay. I'll try to sell them on some other avenues or channels so that I don't have to pay fees on them. Because I don't want eBay and PayPal taking my money if I can avoid it. In short, my opinion is that, yes, it would be wise to buy and hold Modern Masters 2015 boxes. Now, with that being said, I want to keep a very close eye on the future of the Modern Masters series. I'm going to be doing a video on, do I think it's good to reprint cards? And I will say, in general, I don't have a problem with it as long as it's done responsibly. So I don't mind that they do a Modern Masters. I wouldn't want to see it happen every single year. I think every 2 years is probably a reasonable thing to do, and also if they keep it limited. But if they were to go to doing a Modern Masters every single year, then that would give me a lot of pause and concern, and it would make me rethink a lot of things on how I look at investing cards. And as I've mentioned in some of my videos, you have to really stay on top of what's going on. You can't just blindly do something and ignore what's going on, because some things are going to influence other things. So for instance, the original Modern Masters had the reverse effect of what a lot of people had hoped for, in that when they got reprinted in Modern Masters, that cards like Tarmogoyf and Dark Confidence prices would fall. But the opposite happened. They initially fell a little bit, but then there's so much demand for those cards that it really increased the value of those cards. Some of them stayed the same, some of them just increased more because it brought more people into the field. One thing I want to bring your attention to is an article that was written October 22nd, 2002 by Aaron Forsyth. And this was on the Wizards of the Coast website. This is when the original Modern Masters was first, the information on it was first released in October. The set wasn't printed and released until the following June, I believe. June 2013. And this talks about Modern Masters and where they're going to go with it. Now, this article is still up. You can still find it on the Wizards of the Coast. Modern Masters Explained is the article name. Title by Aaron Forsyth. It's Monday. It's on Monday, October 22nd, 2012. If you want to take a look at it. And anyway, he goes through and he talks. There's this long talk about Modern Masters and the price and the cards that are going to be reprinted. And he talks a lot about Chronicles. And I know I would suspect that most Magic players weren't around when Chronicles was printed way back in the day. I'm trying to think even what year it was printed. I want to say it was late 1994, maybe 1995, somewhere in there. I was playing Magic at the time. I was playing Magic when Chronicles was released, and it had a major effect on the environment because there was a lot of cards that were valuable and highly sought after that got reprinted. And it really just made the value of a lot of cards go down. Like City of Brass was one, I believe. The one that I really remember was Urnum Jin. Urnum Jin was like a very highly sought after card from Arabian Nights. And it was the heart of the... it wasn't legal in... it wasn't called Standard back then. It was called Type 2. But it was legal in the Urnum deck only because it was printed in Chronicles. This article goes on to talk about how they're going to really keep an eye on the print run of Modern Masters and make sure that it is a limited set, that they don't have the Chronicles debacle. The Chronicles debacle was essentially why they put the reserve list in place in the first place, because it was a big crisis in the market when you had all these stores and collectors that had these cards, and then they were just reprinted. And they just didn't print Chronicles. They printed the crap out of Chronicles. I mean, they printed a ton of it. So, you know, as I was still a fairly new player, so to me, I was like, yay, you know, these cheap cards, I can get some Urnum for like nothing. I mean, some Urnum I can get some Urnums for like nothing. I can get City of Brass for like nothing. You know, but that's not healthy for the whole environment of Magic to do stuff like that. And I'll talk about that more in my other video on reprinting, but you have to look at the health of a game from all sides. You can't only look at one side. And most newer players, I hear, they're just looking at one side of the argument. They're not looking at what's healthy for all people involved. So I'm hoping that Wizards is responsible about only printing Modern Masters in a very limited print run. They said they're doing Modern Masters 2015. They're going to do a print run that's greater than the original Modern Masters, but it's still going to be limited. I wish they would release some hard numbers so that people could get a good idea. It seems like getting a hold of boxes this go around was not as hard as getting a hold of boxes the first go around. So anyway, in short, real quick, in summary, I approve of buying and holding Modern Masters 2015 boxes. It's a shorter play. It's like a 6-month to 18-month play for me. I'm looking to sell when they hit what I can get $375 out of them. Other than that, let me please remind you, especially when you're spending this much money, you must invest, buy, sell, trade Magic cards at your own risk. These are my opinions. So please remember, make your own choices. I don't make the choices for you. I did buy mine. I got my 4 boxes, but you got to make your own choices. This is Rob with MTG Investor. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate all the likes and the good comments. And as always, happy trading.